Hello and welcome to Module 2 and our third lesson of our beginner sewing course. I'm Mercy and I'm going to be your tutor. If this is the first time you're coming across this video, please stay tuned to the end. I have something for you. So today we're going to be talking about fabric and interfacing for beginners. This Module 1 and Module 2 is all about theory, and hopefully in Module 3 we're going to get up and start doing the practical work. So as usual, I'm going to be reminding you, if you have been following this video from lesson 1 in module 1, I'll be reminding you to get your pattern papers, to get your sewing machines, to get your tools ready. In our previous video we talked about tools, so I believe that from that video you should have been able to go to the local market closest to you to be able to get tools that you would need for this journey that we're going to be embarking on. Okay, so briefly, the outline for this class is we're going to be talking about how fabric is made. We're going to be talking about fabric properties, beginner friendly fabrics. I'm going to be showing you some of the fabrics that I have in my own collection, fabrics that I'm going to be using for my upcoming projects. I'm going to be showing you, and we're going to be talking about interfacing. I'm just going to be briefly touching them and also showing you interfaces that I have here with me in my studio. Truthfully, choosing the wrong fabric can ruin your design. You have an imagination in your head when you want to produce an outfit, when you want to sew an outfit, but you choose the wrong fabric, it can actually destroy the outcome of your outfit. It is that deep. Yes, so an outfit can look entirely different in two extreme fabric choices. So imagine using a cardigan material to sew two-piece. Imagine how it will look like. Okay, some of us might not have a deep understanding of this example, but imagine how it will look like. Imagine how it will look like if you are sewing a princess dress, that is a layered princess dress, with a wool cardigan material. Imagine how thick it would be and how heavy that fabric would be. So the outcome of an outfit totally is influenced by the fabric. It is mostly influenced by the fabric. We have three main fabric constructions. Your fabric is either woven, or it is knit, or it is stretch woven. So under woven now we have woven, we have knit or stretch woven, and each of these materials, maybe we might know some of these names. Each of these materials, maybe we might know some of these names. They fall under this category. Should I start listing them out? We know cotton. Everybody knows cotton. Cotton. Everybody knows cotton. We have poplin. We have linen fabrics. I'll show you linen fabrics. I'm coming. We have denim. That's the jean. The jean I'm currently even putting on jean is known as denim. Those are examples of woven fabrics. We have satin, we have organza. So even though they are all under the bracket of woven fabrics, they all have entirely different textures and can be used for entirely different purposes. Okay, the characteristics is that they are all stable. So as a beginner, these are the kind of fabric I would recommend for you. I will not recommend stretchy fabrics, although stretchy fabrics somehow it might be easy to work with in certain situations. But if you want to sew sturdy garments, I would never recommend a stretchy fabric. Okay, now for knit fabrics, for knit fabric constructions, we have jersey. That is your jersey outfit. We have rib knits. That is the ones that look like they have been rib knits basically. And we have ponte. I'm not going to. I don't have knit fabrics. KNITO. I don't have fabrics that have been knit to show you, but because basically we're going to be focusing on woven fabrics, basically the cotton and the likes. So stretch woven, we have things like spandex. In Nigeria we call some of them lycra. We have really like materials that really stretch, materials that are used for real stretch. We have mesh and all of them. So let's go on and talk about fabric properties. We've talked about fabric construction, how the fabric is made. Okay, I want you to have just like a basic knowledge on the fabric choices that you're going to be making when you go to the market to source for fabric. Okay, so that you don't end up buying fabric that is not useful for the kind of style that you want to produce. Okay, so now fabric properties, we have grain lines, we have cross grain, we have bias, self edge. You know what, let's do an entirely different video on this, because these are terms I want to raise that in module 3. These are terms that every beginner fashion designer must know. So we have self edge. Self edge is, I don't want to start explaining that to you people. Let's do an entirely different video on that. Okay, so these are terms that every beginner designer, in fact every designer, should know. So beginner friendly fabrics for you, I have mentioned basically all of them. Cotton, poplin, cotton linen blend. So cotton mixed with linen is also a fabric style. Cotton linen. We have Ankara, we have chambray, we have light crepe. I'm going to be showing you them. So let's take a minute to see the kinds of fabrics that is good for you as a beginner, I'll give you what the texture should look like. Okay, so I know, say some of the fabrics out of all the plenty that I listed for you guys. So I know I didn't talk about chiffon, but chiffon is also a good option. You see how light and flowy it is. Just be checking out the differences in the fabric I present to you. See how light and flowy it is. It is very light. Sometimes it is see-through. It is very light, but a little bit difficult to work with. If you are looking for layered gowns, layered trousers, like you see the ones I create, yeah, this is a very good option. This and organza. So organza, this is organza. You see, organza is also, okay, let me show you. So you see this, it does not, you see this chiffon, it does not stretch, you see? It does not stretch, but it doesn't stay either. It doesn't stay where you put it because of how light and generous it is. But you see, this is organza, the next one. Organza is pretty easy to work with. You see how it doesn't stretch either. And it can be pretty light, but it stays where you put it. Stays where you put it. Now, this is an example of a cotton linen because it has a little bit of stretch on one side of the grain line, on one side of the bias. It has a very small stretch, but it's not so bad that it would ruin your work. You just need to know how to work on the sides that has the stretch. So you have to be taking note of the sides that has stretch so I can properly work with it. Now, this is a full Ankara fabric. For those of us that don't know, this comes in 6 yards, right? And it comes in different grades. Some of them are pure cotton, some of them are cotton mixed with linen. So it comes in different grades. Usually you can buy the cheapest one and it will still work perfectly. Cotton mixed with nylon rather. This is an adire form of fabric. It is Kampala. It is very similar in texture with the Ankara fabrics. It is very, see, most all of the materials, or most of them that I'm showing you, they do not stretch. The reason why is because non-stretchy materials are easy for beginners to work with. Now look at this. This color is super pretty. This is also a cotton fabric. This is a plain cotton fabric. You see, no stretch, and it's a woven. All I'm showing you here basically are woven fabrics. Okay, so this here we call it jonkoso in Nigeria. You see, it has a little bit of stretch. Do not use this material as a beginner. I brought this here to show you the ones you should not use as a beginner. Okay, even when you are cutting it, it does not stay. It does not stay where you put it, basically. See, it has a little bit of stretch and it has nice, lovely drape. Very beautiful drape. But I do not recommend for beginners. Okay, let me show you a linen fabric. So linen fabrics are thick. They are thick and they have little to no stretch. You see this very little stretch, almost non-existent stretch. These are also woven fabrics. Okay, linen, they are not as lightweight. This is probably the most heavy fabric that I've brought so far. It is not lightweight and it is not one of the cheapest that you can find. If you are looking for affordability, it is not one of the most affordable out there. Okay, so this is an example of a light crepe. I just keep seeing them, so I'll bring it to show you people. See, it has a light stretch on one side of the bias. Okay, on both sides of the bias, actually, this one. This is a form of light crepe. We have thicker crepes than this, but this is a light crepe that is easy for beginners to work with. This kind of material, you might not even need to line it. Most times you might not need to line it and it comes out flowy and beautiful. So I'm giving you a practical example of different fabrics that you can work with, right? So you should know once you get to the market, you feel the texture, and based on the examples, based on what I've given you, you can work with that. Okay, I'm giving you how many fabrics now? It's almost 10. So it's something you can work with. Now let's go to interfacing real quick. Interfacing is basically the hidden support system inside your fabric. Basically, interfacing is the hidden support system in your fabric, and it gives your fabric structure. So it's just like putting cement, putting everything before you get the complete beautiful structure of a house. You know, all the things that goes into the foundation, the pillars that goes into the walls. That's basically how we liken what an interface should, the work of an interface inside your material. An interface is not just fabric. Like, we have some of them that come that looking like paper. We have some of them. Let me just show you now. Before I show you, where is interface used? Interface is used when you are creating structures like you see these breast pads that I created. Beautiful, perfect examples where we put interfacing inside the clothes. So it gives it a kind of structure, it makes it stand easily, so when you wash them they can still stand and they don't fall. Okay, you can use them inside collars, inside the collars of your fabric, of your outfit. You use them inside cuffs, that is for the cuff of your clothes, handcuffs, right? Then you use them for waistband of your trousers or your skirts. You use them as a facing. You can use them as facings. You understand what facings is, okay? You can use them inside your pocket opening, as I said, inside some of your structured bustiers. Now, the types of interfacing that we have fusible interfacing. Fusible interfacing basically is the one that can gum. Like you can use heat to make it to gum on the fabric. Gumming, simple English. The one that can gum is called fusible interfacing, and the one that is non-fusible, basically, you don't gum it. So that one you have to sew it in. So we either call it non-fusible interfacing or sew in. You sew it in, just like the name implies. Now we have woven interfacing and non-woven interfacing. We have knit interfacing. Okay, let me just be showing you some of them. So these are some of the most common interfacing in Nigeria. I'll just tell you what they are called in Nigeria. I don't know what they're called in other countries. This one, we call it a breast pad, a light breast pad in Nigeria. You see, I don't know if you can see this. It has a shiny surface, and the shiny surface is where the gum is. So this is an example of a fusible interfacing where you can, once you iron it, the gum comes out and it glues onto the fabric. Okay, so this is the thicker version. This is the thicker version of this. This one is quite difficult to, you see, I've used it finish. They are all sold in yardage. And remember, how many inches did I tell you that a yard is? If you answered 36, you're correct. So this is much more thicker. You can see the thickness. Let's see it in comparison to this one. See them side by side. Do you see that? So these are the same. Most times they are used at the bustier of, so that's why they're called breast pad in Nigeria, but that is not the only use, right? They can use to make a fabric thicker. So they use it to make a fabric thicker. Now this one is commonly called este in Nigeria. We call it nylon este. It looks like a fabric. See, it looks like a fabric, but it is made of nylon, as the name implies. It also has a shiny surface that is rough, which when you iron it, it stays on the fabric. So this one can be used inside bustiers too. Now, okay, this is the same thing. Okay, so this is kind of like the elder brother. Obviously more expensive, not expensive, but more pricey than this one. So this is cotton. This one we call it cotton este. It's also a type of interface that is fusible. Look at this, lighter, and this one is thicker. So this one is thicker because it's made of cotton. This one is lighter because it's made of nylon. All serve entirely different purposes. Now this one we call it the paper gum. This is made of paper. See, it tears. It can tear. It's entirely made of paper. It also has a shiny part where you can gum. So this is a gum stay, call it gum stay in Nigeria. It also has a shiny part where you can gum, made of paper but way thicker. So yes, this is hemming gum. This is not an this is not an interface, but this is pure gum, as the name implies. It's a pure gum, and you use it to gum two fabrics together, or you can use it to hem the under of a fabric. So this is fiber. Yes, the one that they put in chairs. Yes, fiber. This is fiber. This is pieces out of what I used here, and I just wanted to show us that it can also be used as an interface in certain situations. So now that I've shown you different types of interface, so I would recommend that you buy the cotton este and you buy the nylon este. For starters, you can start with 1 yard, and then you can buy this thick. So for when we are going to start bustiers, this one is not an immediate thing. You can buy this thick breast pad or this light one. Okay, these four are the most important. We also have the ones that we call collar stay in Nigeria. So imagine this gum stay, which is made of paper, but a more thicker version, a way thicker version. That is what we call the collar stay. So it can be used in peplum to make things stand. It can be used in flay. It can be used in many things. And also other things that I can add is crinoline. We have the crinoline mesh. So this is the crinoline mesh. Yes, I went to bring it for you guys. You see, it looks kind of transparent. And this one, it stays so well. This one does not have any form of gum on it, and you need a lot of skill to be able to laminate it on your fabric, and it has to be inside. This is very similar to those small crinolines, the ones that are like two inches long. It's very similar to those. It's basically the same thing. So, and finally here I'm going to show you guys this laminated foam. Laminated foams, it does a similar work to the thick breast pad. So this is the thick breast pad, only that the thick breast pad has is fusible. It has gum on it, while this one is completely non-fusible. There's no gum on it, both sides, but can be used inside of It's a laminated foam. Basically, it doesn't tear as easily as the normal foam that you see out there. So if you enjoyed this video so far, oh yeah, give it a thumbs up. Okay, like the video, leave a comment. If you have any questions, drop it in the comments, and we're going to be using it, as we said, for subsequent videos in the future. So if you know that you'll be going to the market soon, let me see you. If you know that you'll be entering the market with confidence, with this knowledge that you've gotten, let me see you give a shout out in the comment section. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I've been talking about the community for beginners sewists like yourself, you that you're watching this video. If you know that you want resources, this course is basically for beginner designers who are doing it by themselves, so that you don't feel alone, to foster creativity, and you are able to know that you're not working alone. If you would love to join the community where we share resources, where there's accountability, we have live sessions every month, please and please, the link is in this description, or it will be in the channel's description, the channel's bio. If you want to join the community, it is only available for the next few days and it will be closed back up. See you guys in the next video. Bye.